And we're live. Greetings and salutations. I'm Unthoff Neverborn, the abyss that slumbers, and you are listening to Eldritch Rants, the show that dares to ask the question, can we do a prisoner exchange from the nation of Utopia? The answers to this question and many more will be answered by me and Farty here. We don't have a panel today, but that's cool. We're just a couple of secret agents from Utopia. That's where we're from. And we're going to be tackling the many issues with the world today because we got all the answers. And every day's a holiday. Every night's the 4th of July. This is the best of all possible worlds because life is a miraculous thing. My life is a lie. How you doing, Farty?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Quick thing, I mentioned a few months ago about this fella called Daniel Hawksclaw, which was he was a cop over in America, and he pretty much got this insane amount of jail time for supposedly raping a bunch of hookers. Now, the point of that is the way that it was done was the local cops, who basically arbitrarily presumed he was guilty before he was innocent, sent out a message to a whole bunch of the local streetwalkers and said, "Oh, did you ever get fucked over by a cop?" To which a shit ton of them came back and went, "Yes, we did." Now, the reason why I bring that up is because something similar happened just the other day. If anybody's ever seen the movie Wolf Creek or TV Creek, or ever seen the Australian movie The Odd Angry Shot, there's an actor in that called John Jarratt who plays Mick Taylor. And he just got fucked over pretty much the same way. There's a TV presenter by the name of Tracy Spicer who sent out on Twitter, because she only just found out about the Me Too movement, and said, "Has anybody else been done over by the entertainment industry?" Because apparently Australia is exactly the same as fucking Hollywood. And this one Sheila came back and said, yes, John Jarratt went and raped me back in 1970 something or other. And oh yeah, I was still friends with the family for 10 years after that and didn't mention it until now. But oh wow, she is such a hero for coming out about it. And now this bloke is getting fucked over because of that.
Really now?
So that's my little rant. Yeah.
So you think he's going to be cleared?
Hey?
You think he's going to get cleared?
Well, I really do hope so, but just like every situation like this, because a stupid bitch has gone and fucking said something stupid, now that this guy is his name's Mud, pretty much. So there goes any more Wolf Creek content for anyone who was really a big fan of that, which I was.
Yeah, see, you know, I think what she's done there, boys and girls, is she's just gone and watched the movie and thought, oh, yes, he is really that much of an asshole. I'll make up a bullshit story. Yes, oh, yeah, Mick Taylor went and fucked me in the ass. Oh,
no, like, oh, Christ. It's just so wanky that we are so far behind the times. It's taken this long for the media to catch up with the Me Too movement. And, you know, oh, we must be like the Americans, so this has happened here. Like, well, okay, if she had a fucking problem with it, why did she stay friends with the family? I mean, like, you know, not from Jarratt, but Noni Hazelhurst, his wife. Why didn't she say shit about it then? Why'd she stay friends with the family? Why, when they stopped being friends, didn't she say shit about it then? Why didn't she report it to the cops? And why the fuck are we pondering on these fucking historical rape cases when these dumb bimbos had the opportunity to go to the cops at the fucking time? It wasn't like this guy was standing over for the last 35 fucking years or so, or 40. It's 40 something fucking years now. Like, what the fucking fuck? You had your chance. Stiff shit. What happened to fucking statutes of limitations? I mean, too bad, so sad. This fucking long down the track, if it didn't bother you then enough to go to the cops, then you don't have a right to say fucking shit now. That's as far as I'm going to go with that. But, like, on the whole fucking family side of things, it's funny how he was an actor in Australia, and then he was a TV presenter in Australia, and then he was a movie actor in Australia. Then now he's in a Quentin Tarantino movie in Hollywood. Oh, I'm going to say shit now because he's got a ton of fucking money. Ah, really? Get fucked, you dumb bitch.
Wiggle those fingers, mate. Wiggle the fingers. Gotta wiggle the fingers.
I am so angry!
So
I don't
So
know if you're getting the
basically-
picture. I don't know if you're seeing the
Going-
picture, party.
the Goku fucking what's he in the house?
No, I'm talking about in the Hangouts.
Hang on, I got to go back to the Hangouts.
Well, no, I popped in here, and the first thing I was thinking was, oh shit, Eldritch is actually going on camera. But no, we don't get to see his face. We get to see.
No, it is.
his
It's a
little-
face reveal.
Hey,
That
this is a face
Eldritch.
reveal.
That is
This is the face of Eldritch. I'm the brain slug that lives in this asshole.
It looks like a furry scrotum.
Your
You
point?
know, buddy. The point of that is like what fucked over Daniel Hortzclaw, which was the arbitrary. Hey, this cop might have fucked people over, and we're willing to listen to all bullshit stories. Tracy Spicer did the same thing. Hey, you want to go some cunt who's got a shit ton of money? Come and see me. But Tracy Spicer's a fucking feminist cunt anyway. Fucking she can fuck off. Yes. Yes, let's go.
Topics? There are topics? What? Nobody notified me.
Yeah, that's not how I run the Red Eye. We don't have topics. We just bullshit.
Yeah, we do.
No, I like
It's a
to
big old
jump
file. You gotta
around a
open
lot.
up
It's
and-
more fun that way. Any rate, after 80 cars were destroyed, Swedish police want to talk with the parents of the guilty miners. Let me actually, more's come out on this since this article. We've got up to 180 cars in a coordinated attempt that has been destroyed by all these miners throughout no-go zones in Sweden. So basically what we're talking about here is a coordinated attack to cause all sorts of terrorism in the local area. Sweden's screwed, in case anybody didn't figure that out yet, and thought we'd get some feedback on this. Your guys' thoughts?
Well, I haven't.
It
heard
doesn't
from
look
most
good.
Swedish tribal
Let's
lately.
start with that.
How many miners were involved, and were these miners locals or were they refugees?
No. You can't answer. You can't answer.
You can't say that. In fact, even trying to figure that out has been next to impossible. Like, they will not talk about the race or the numbers or anything like that. I just love this picture of this guy sitting there with the little balloon and all the cars burning behind him. This is so Swedish.
Yeah, but Eldritch, the strangest thing, like, is that, you know, when they first started implementing that law that you can't report the race of the person or the religion of the person, that was because children were getting raped in swimming pools. You know, that's why they had to initiate that rule that you don't report these things.
Well, no, here in the United
little
States,
embarrassing.
here in the United States, a juvenile's record is usually closed, and you can't get it expunged at 18. But the fact remains, though, if it's an illegal immigrant, they will report upon that. And that's what I'm asking. Are these refugee minors, and are they even minors?
No. You can't ask that. You can't.
We can't find out. That's the problem. I can't find out. Other than
You'll get it
it happened in no-go zones where there were refugees. But it could have been like hundreds and hundreds of Swedish children who just all decided to go to a no-go zone and, you know, just kind of fuck everybody, you know? I mean,
I think that gives us our answer, actually. Yeah, I doubt it was a bunch of Swedish children. Like, don't they have better things to do, like eat chocolate and pancakes or whatever?
Fucking hell, Dodge, you're gonna get us,
something like that, I
you're gonna
think.
get us kicked off, man. Stop alluding to that shit, Dodge. You're gonna get us kicked off.
By the way,
I'll tell you what bugs me is I have tried to. I've spoken with people about, you know, these sort of, you know, the sort of gangs that are going out there and these rules that are why they're being introduced. And I showed it to a girl, and well, woman, I mean, an adult, you'd think would have critical thinking skills. And it's like you try like 3, 4, 5 examples, right? And,
Sorry.
And it's like no, but they're exaggerating. It's all exaggeration. It's exaggeration. But these are children who, you know, getting abused in fucking swimming pools. And there's a woman that's like, but they just exaggerate it. It's like, well, even if you how can you exaggerate? I mean, even one is bad enough, right? So if you're even exaggerating one,
But
you know,
remember,
isn't that enough reason to stop it?
But remember, Cabbage, you got Saga Number Card did a video about a week or so ago where there's some stupid Swedish bitch was trying to stop an aeroplane from taking off with that fucking Somali fucking.
Who beat his wife and his kids. Yeah, he was beating his wife and his kids.
Yeah, he wanted to leave, and this dumb fucking slag is sitting in the middle of the airplane going, I'm doing the right thing. Thank you, everybody, for supporting me. I'm a dumb cunt to the world. Yes, everyone, thank me for supporting dumb cuntism.
Now, there is an excuse for another Auschwitz. You see, those are the sort of people that you should be putting into ovens.
Fucking oath. Absolutely.
Well. Let's move on to McCain. Unfortunately, I didn't get an updated article before he kicked the bucket. But yeah, McCain's dead.
Well, he done. He gone. He gone.
Okay,
he gone.
He dead. Wrapped in plastic.
You know, it's awfully quick after him ending his cancer treatment that he dies. It's just, isn't that a little weird? Like, he announces yesterday, I'm ending my cancer treatment, and then he's dead. I wonder if he killed himself.
The funniest thing.
Hang on, so is that suicide? Isn't that be suicide? He's going.
If he committed suicide, he's going to hell. Going to hell, and he dies.
Either hell in a handbasket.
The funniest thing about this is Dodge was thinking, "Fucking, I finally got away from this fucking subject." Oh shit!
No, that is what I was thinking. I was like, really? I have to go to Mad Donuts Colonial Part 2?
I don't think we need to do much about this. I mean, let's face facts here. The guy is. I want to chalk it all up to senility. I want to chalk it all up to he's just old and his brain went because of cancer, and he was manipulated by everybody around. So let's not blame him for being having cancer in his brain. Okay, we can excuse his behavior the past couple of years because brain cancer. You know, so it's a sad way to go.
I had a great conspiracy for this. He was 80-something. He had brain cancer and all this. No, it was the Pharaoh's curse.
The Pharaoh's curse.
That dates him.
That works.
Dates him.
I'm going with my other one. He knew too much about 9/11, so the Clintons had to bump him off.
Well, speaking of hypocrisy, like the Clintons here, Asia Argento, I don't know, is that a form of cheese? Argento cheese or something? I don't know. She banged a 17-year-old boy who was about, 10 months underage, paid to have it covered up. There's pictures of her in bed naked with him. And then she goes, nope, we didn't have sex. Not true. And by the way, this is the same bitch who started #PoundMeToo.
I thought that was it.
Well, no, it gets worse than that, though. After that, she's like, yeah, we did have sex, but he raped me. It's a 17-year-old kid, bitch. How was he in your bedroom?
He raped her.
Yeah.
When she was on top of him.
That's me bashing my head against the ground there, because that is so dumb. Fuck! Bitch! Holy fuck! And she blames it on her dead husband, too. Like, it's her dead husband's fault she lied and shit. Is there anybody involved who's a progressive who isn't a complete scumbag, child molesting rapist?
Well, it makes me feel a bit better because I'm not one of those cunts, and fucking that just means that I don't get put under that spotlight. Hooray!
Was this something that happened on a regular basis?
So, by the looks of things.
No, you getting put under the spotlight for sexual misconduct.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Please.
No.
Every
Women
sexual misconduct. You look at women you look at women for more than 3 seconds and all of a sudden it's a fucking sexual assault. Everyone's getting triggered for fucking...
No, I get women jump in the car with Ted Bundy just to get away from me.
Yeah, well...
Okay, just wondering there.
It's understandable.
More fun!
Isn't it? Well, real quick, Eldritch, because I know you want to move on because you kind of speed round this shit. But when you're looking at the actual situation of female teachers and underage students, why is it all coming out nowadays?
On.
Why is it happening now?
Yeah, but...
Like, there was no fucking 30-year-old fucking married teacher sleeping with her students in my high school. You know what I mean?
Come on, no guy is going to take.
Well, because when we were younger, there were more male teachers. Okay, you didn't have as many female teachers to do this.
Don't want to get kissed by Katy Perry. You got gay cunts nowadays who don't want to get kissed by Katy Perry. That's why.
Yeah.
Anyway, I always like.
Again, they're all fat fucking purple people anyway. So who wants one of them?
I want to gloat about CNN. CNN, they continue to suck. Their ratings are dropping like a rock. We can only hope that their imminent demise will happen quickly, but it's not coming soon enough. Fox continues to be the #1 channel, period, for like months now, which is weird because news was never that popular. But I think in general, the overall cable TV market is shrinking. So these are people fighting over the leftover scraps, but still. Any thoughts on how long it'll take before CNN finally dies?
Well,
yeah,
I don't
the thing
know.
is.
Okay, go ahead, Cabbage. I'll follow up after you.
Okay, I was just going to say that, don't forget that this is actually kind of scary because we're just going to see more consolidation. So there's going to be less news. I mean, not that CNN was news to begin with, all right? So I'll give you that quarter. But, there is less and less that's being produced. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it has to consume itself, by its own stupidity. But it just seems like that it's becoming, the options, variety, the choice that everyone keeps talking about. This will just be one less thing, and you don't think, I mean, like CNN might disappear, but
they all get their news from AP anyways.
Those people.
Like AP isn't going away, so who cares if this opinion location goes away?
Yeah, but, but it's still part of I mean, who is the holding company? Who is the canopy company? Who's
I think it's Turner or somebody. I think eventually Disney wanted to buy them and some shit.
The Time Warner. I mean, you got to look up the chain. Look up the chain.
Yeah,
I know they are owned by the cable company itself.
It's Raytheon.
Okay,
Raytheon. Yes, that's it.
The Bilderberg.
Raytheon.
Well, no, but the thing is, though,
Boston
Bilderbergs.
okay,
the robots are coming.
Robots.
The thing is, though,
goddamn robots.
I did talk about this over on the Red Eye for a little bit, and I also watched Tim Pool's thoughts on this subject, and he brought up a very good point. His point was, it's not that CNN is really super liberal, and that's why they're fading away, because MSNBC is beating them. Okay? And then Fox News is also biased, and they're beating them. What it is CNN is trying to be middle of the road, but they're not, and everybody knows it, and that's why they're dying. So the viewers...
The point is, right? Yeah, but that's not why they're dying. They're dying because they're getting their media, they're getting their information from a massively broader spectrum of, of sources. Right? Whether it's, like listening to us gibber on and, talk smack, or whether it's, Alex Jones or whatever. I mean, people are picking up on any media that they choose. They don't have to... they don't have their single.
That's not why they're losing
their remote control.
That's not why they're losing in the cable war, though, Cabbage, because they're fighting over the same demographic, and Fox News is winning in 25 to 54. Or 55
I don't deny
25 to 55, and they say they say that Fox News is for old people. No, look at the demographic.
Yeah, but there's an awful lot of kids.
CNN is becoming for nobody. My question is how much longer do they have? That's what I want to know.
In their current format,
they are back
5-8 years, maybe. Tops.
I would say a decade or two. They are backed by big money, and they're not going to fade away easily. And sooner or later, they're going to get the point. Sooner or later, they're going to hire people like, I don't know, maybe they'll have Razor Fist on CNN one day. Who fucking knows? They might get desperate, people. Like, I mean, shit might
Yeah, but
really hit the
that's
fan.
the whole point. No, I mean CNN will go by the wayside and it'll just be replaced by something new and more hip, and it's meant to try and invigorate a new audience, and that's the usual bullshit that they use. Right?
I think cable is
they'll
dying,
still
period.
It is. It's a done deal.
So it's going to be new news no matter what. There's going to be new news sources.
Absolutely.
So
yep, that's what I mean. You see, because the thing is, right? I mean, but that's why they're trying to nail down the internet. That's why they want to censor the internet. That's why they want to make sure that they have control over the internet. So the media sources are the ones that they want to be, viable.
It sounds like it's going to boil. Sounds like it's going to boil down to a Monty Python sketch. This is Sir Thomas Brilson. He has some photos that we have that we're going to show in 30 seconds unless he gives us a phone call and gives us £10,000.
Yes.
Your time is running, sunshine.
And now for something completely different.
that makes sense to me.
Boo.
Speaking of something completely different, let us move on to Ebola. La la la, Ebola.
I like
La la la, Ebola. Ba 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 ba.
The princess. Oh, no. The princess. The princess, she smelled of Ebola.
The doctor says I'm sick and I can't last long, and I won't last till the end of the song because of Ebola.
Spit on the
Ebola.
Spit on the princess.
Oh, Ebola outbreak now at 105 cases in less than a week. It's doubled, and bordering countries are on alert. Congo's is fucked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no other way to do it.
When has it ever not been fucked?
And Eldritch, you've been watching the Red Eye recently. I don't know why you brought this one up. I'm gonna go there. Okay, so you
You're gonna go to the Congo? Holy fuck!
No.
Jesus Christ!
This is it, the gauntlet.
What the hell? What are you, like one of those bikers who think you could go through ISIS territory without dying? Fuck!
He saw Logan Paul sing about that fucking hurricane. He's gonna go.
I'm sorry. No, I'll let him finish. Please.
But no, you take somebody with Ebola, the one that mutated, right?
Yes.
It mutated last time the outbreak happened, where you became a carrier and you could transfer it like an STD and everything else, and it didn't really affect you for almost a month.
Did you look ahead to the article about sexually transmitted flesh-eating disease?
No, I didn't. I don't look ahead in the articles. I let you.
Are you flirting?
No.
But no, the thing is,
going on here?
You take one of those guys. You take one of those guys, and you have a rabid monkey bite him. Now what happens? You have a rabies virus meeting a fucking Ebola virus, and they might mutate together to create the zombie apocalypse.
Nah, but
there you go.
Dodge. It gets even scarier than that.
Jesus.
It gets even scarier than that because the Congo is a fucking Muslim country. France would have been scattering like
it could become a Muslim.
Weaponized. They've been trying to weaponize it. I mean, there was a couple of Muslim cunts that went missing in Sierra Leone when that happened over there, and they were suspected to have Ebola. Fucking, like, no shit. It was only a matter of time before that gets weaponized by the fucking Muslims. And, yeah, we're fucked.
Well, now
do you know what
weaponized Ebola, what was it that you said? Rabies, Ebola, Muslim.
Yeah, see, the rabies is what we're really turning into the zombie virus. Because the rabies attacks the brain. The rabies attacks the brain and makes you froth at the mouth and just bite people. And that's the zombie virus.
But the thing you don't understand. Yeah, but the thing is, you don't understand is that viruses don't fuck, right? So it's not like a rabies virus meets, like, takes out an Ebola virus and, gives it dinner, maybe a movie,
I'm not saying they fuck. I'm saying they will mutate.
Right?
You've never seen that happen.
And then they combine, right?
No, you can't. You
don't understand.
You don't know what
science,
happens if these two viruses meet with them. The biological system.
Yes, they meet. Yeah. They just might get freaky.
It would be funny though if it was the Monty Burns theory of diseases. He has so many diseases that they all counteracted each other and made him immortal. but that the rabies actually counteracts fucking Ebola, and like, all you need to do is be bitten by a frothing monkey. You're fucking, I'm cured of Ebola.
I just want to say one
I've got
thing.
the rabies now.
Just one thing. The hardest part of the zombie apocalypse is going to be pretending I'm not really, really excited. Okay? That's the only part that's going to be hard. I'm going to be like, woo! Zombies! Yeah!
The hardest part of the zombie apocalypse is actually being a non-undead, because the undead are all squishy.
Flesh-eating STD, donovanosis, which causes genitals to rot away, found in the UK for the first time.
No.
Hey, cabbage!
Cabbage.
It's cabbage!
Eddie Murphy,
Hey, no,
Your
please.
nuts are gonna rot off!
Yeah, but
Eddie Murphy had
no, can
an
you
even
repeat
worse
that?
version of
You
that.
broke up, mate. Because you kept getting interrupted. I couldn't hear what you said.
Okay, a sexually transmitted disease which causes the genitals to erupt into flesh-eating ulcers has been detected for the first time in the UK and is making a comeback in other countries too. Yay!
Yeah, well, you say, well, that's what happens when you import an awful lot of, diversity into your population, I guess.
Oh, yes.
No,
This is
no.
diversity. This is like that mumps outbreak in Canada. I mean, seriously. This stuff previously
We
came
still-
from, like, far-flung tropical countries, and now it's in the freaking UK.
No. We're still not anywhere near the worst one of it. I mean, like, I know a Sheila that used to collect venereal diseases like they were Pokemon. Got to collect them all. Eddie Murphy, back in 1983, he fucking said that there's going to be this super AIDS, it used to be like syphilis. Just made it.
Chlamydia, I choose you.
Super AIDS.
I choose you.
Super AIDS.
You put your dick in the Sheila and your dick just
I
explodes.
choose
We
you.
haven't come to that yet, so we're not at the worst of it.
Chlamydia, I choose you.
Hey, just rub yourself up against. Just rub yourself up against the platypus. You'll be right.
You smell of AIDS and Ebola. You are the queen.
Yeah, just rub yourself up against a platypus. You'll be right.
Oh, I hear that. I heard the virgin platypus cures AIDS. I have heard this. You must rub yourself with on the ulcers on your penis with a platypus, and everything will be fine.
No, we were talking about this a few months ago with this super syphilis, and then all of a sudden there's this shit that grows on a platypus that fucking cures everything. So, hey, just go fuck a platypus, you'll be all right.
Yeah, but that dangerous.
Okay, I gotta say this. Australia is weird.
For fuck's sake.
Australia's really weird that having sex with a platypus fixes shit.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Well, you know why Australia
Yeah,
is weird? Because it doesn't exist. They make all that shit up.
Exactly.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot. Farty's a robot.
Flat
I forgot that.
Flat Earth. Yeah.
Yes, we've got magical things with duck bills and look like fucking squashed out cats on the side of the road. Yes, they'll cure all your eels. Yes.
No,
that is-
you are just imaginary. That's what it is. You are imaginary. You actually don't exist. You're a fiction of my imagination right now. I'm
Yes,
just
we
hearing
got-
voices in my head.
We've got these things that stand on 2 feet that have little arms that look like T-Rexes and with a pouch and all this kind of shit that
Oh.
jump around.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
What
great
is-
lead-in. That's a great lead-in. Hold on. Bizarre condition allows man to turn his legs 180 degrees and walk backwards.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. P.D.
Cabbage,
Barnum.
is that your cousin? Cabbage, that's your cousin.
Yeah, that's right. That's a distant relative. That's right.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
he
from a
got
Rob
sent to
Zombie?
Australia.
This guy
Oh,
should get a
that's
job
bad.
working on zombie films. I am serious, man, because this guy is freaky as hell.
Okay,
Yeah, it is
I have
freaky.
a serious question. Is he from India by any chance?
I'm not sure where he's from.
Because those
From the
fuckers can
Punjab.
just do some
He's from
really
Michigan.
inbred shit.
That should tell you something. He's from Michigan.
He's from Michigan. So how the fuck is that anything to do with Britain then? What the fuck?
No, this has to do with like freaky walking shit from Australia, man. Because that's what Party was talking about. So I'm like, freaky walking
no,
shit.
what-
This guy's crazy.
Freaky
No,
walkie
what's
shit.
it got to do with
Freaky
Britain?
walkie shit is a
Cabbage?
new thing.
Cabbage, did I remind you that you cunts colonised the Americas before you colonised us? That's
Oh,
got
yeah,
everything to
indeed.
do with you guys.
Yeah, but because it's closer.
Yeah, but there's only so many people.
It's convenience.
Yeah, but there's only so many people you can send to a small island before they start fucking their cousins. We learnt this with Tasmania.
It all starts getting a bit weird after a while.
Squeal like a pig! Squeal! Squeal like a pig!
That wasn't us.
Hey, look, you chose who you fucked.
And he did. He squealed like a pig. I'm just saying. He went. He did. He did. He squealed like a pig. Just saying.
Hey, that's what I used to say to Muslims when I beat them up. Squeal, piggy! Squeal! For cunts who don't like pigs, you sure sound like them.
Okay, did you shove a BLT down their throat when you were done beating the shit out of them?
I didn't have one on hand.
Oh, you already ate it.
Anyway.
You know, BLTs are good. I would have ate it too.
Anyway, moving on to Delta. Now, you remember how Delta said we aren't going to give tickets to NRA members anymore?
Feeding a pig a bacon sandwich, fuck's sake. That's just disgusting. Feeding a pig bacon. What is wrong with you?
No, you've got to hear this one. This one is great. Delta Air says we are not going to give freebies to NRA people anymore. I believe ever since they had the NRA discount, they had 13 passengers bought tickets for a discount. And what did it cost them? About $40 million in tax breaks. Giving virtue signaling and losing 13 tickets cost them $40 million fucking dollars. Awesome! Screw you, Delta!
Because the last thing I remember when I went on a Delta Airlines flight was them asking me if I was a member of the NRA. Or any other affiliate. Are you a member of the KKK or the NRA or the NSBC or the CIA or anything of those initials?
I am a brain slug that lives inside people's heads.
Well, no, all you do is you answer, yes, I'm a member of the NRA. My carry-on is full of guns and ammunition. Have a good day.
And you will miss your flight.
That will get you an anal probe pretty fucking quick.
That will get me shoved up your ass. Seriously.
Wait a minute. You can't shove a 20.
I'll be wiggling it around up there trying to find those guns.
You're gonna right away.
It will not be enjoyable. You will regret your actions. You will regret your actions.
It might seem like a chuckle when you say it, but I don't think you'll be smiling at the end.
Here's the question: do they buy me dinner first?
No. No, they don't even buy you dinner afterwards.
The TSA does not buy you dinner. They don't even use lube. Okay, seriously.
They use sand.
Monsters.
It's sand.
Moon River.
Oh God, I'm sorry, Eldritch. I really devolved this quickly. My bad.
Yeah, block your kids.
Speaking of rude things, now are you familiar with Connor Daly? He lost lost sponsorship decals on his what was it, NASCAR, because of his father using a racial slur over 30 goddamn years ago.
Fucking
the sins of the father are now the sins of the son.
Unbelievable. So retarded.
This is beyond freaking retarded.
It is. It really is. I mean, and this is re-worthy. You know what I mean? It's as opposed to the original Reeves. But Jesus, how can somebody?
It wasn't even him. It wasn't even him.
No, and he didn't. It's not as if they can even claim that the Sun even validated the claims or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not like the Sun even commented or mentioned about the claims that were done. It was just your dad said this, so you're fucked.
I totally understand this shit because the Aborigines nowadays in Australia, well, we've got to say sorry for the things that happened 110 years ago. I wasn't even fucking born then. Why the fuck do I have to say sorry for? I didn't fucking do it. And it's like that 36 fucking questions slutbags have for fucking men, and they said, "Oh, how does it feel to be the same gender as Donald Trump?" So, well, I'm not fucking him.
No, that is a fair.
Well, how does it feel? Because
Totally
I'm not.
fucking
I'm
retarded.
female. I lay eggs. I burrow into. I want to burrow into your chest and lay my eggs. That's what I do. This guy is male, but I'm an egg layer. I like laying eggs in skulls. It's very fun.
Yeah.
Like
I'm ambidextrous. I'm ambidextrous, and I put the sex in dyslexic. So they can't blame me.
One would hope not.
Seriously.
Speaking of lame,
it is fucking retarded though.
I love this.
No, real quick, Eldritch.
Oh, go ahead.
Eldritch, real quick before you move on. Farty, so you're saying that, your past isn't beholden to you. Well, does that excuse the people ripping down Confederate monuments like, Silent Sam or whatever in North Carolina? I mean,
Fuck those guys.
They aren't those people. So you might hold the same beliefs and all this kind of shit, but did you actually do it? No.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it. No, but you can respect.
That's what I think about them.
Those people did it, which is why you hold them in admiration, which is why you have statues. Statues are there, not because of people who are, it's because you admire the achievements and the efforts that were placed, that were done for you in order to create the society that you currently live in. That's why we create statues.
That's why we were talking about fucking Margaret Thatcher before. But like, say, for instance, Randy Cunningham. He was the Navy pilot in the Vietnam War. He was the first Navy pilot to get an ace during the Vietnam War and all this kind of stuff, and everything was going great for him, and until he went for politics, and then his wife decided to say that he was a wife-beating arsehole. Okay, fine. He might have beat his wife. She probably fucking deserved it. But that doesn't detract from the fact that he was this bloke.
Whoa.
Now.
Okay, hey.
Winston fucking Churchill killed fucking hundreds of thousands of Australians because of a stupid fucking decision that he made. However, he was one of the greatest prime ministers of fucking Britain. Now, do we apologise for the shit? Do I apologise for the shit that my great-great-great-great-grandfather did? No. The minute I fucking don't pull someone out of a fucking burning house because of their colour, their race, their religion, or whatever, that's the point you can call me, personally, a fucking racist.
Yes, well said that, man.
You can go and get...
Well said that,
if
man.
you want that kind of shit into it, then you're the racist motherfucker, because I never said anything about fucking race in the first place. Now, I'm not the cunt that fucking did that to you. I'm not the cunt that did it to your grandmother, because I simply was not alive to do that. Now, if my grandfather did it, piss on his grave. And if you want to piss on my grandfather's grave, you piss on a veteran. So, hey, he's the one that didn't make the Abos start fucking talking Japanese. Go fuck yourselves.
Yep. All right, well, real quick here, Mad Dodge, before I wrap this up, did you want to comment something?
Oh, no, I was just thinking that Farty sounded like, when he was talking about Winston Churchill, sounded like me talking about fucking Ulysses S. Grant. Like a little bit of animosity there. I kind of understand how I sound sometimes when I'm talking about the Civil War. That's all.
Okay, I've said this before, and I just want to repeat it here. A statue is about a great man for the time period it comes from. Okay. Like, morality advances, like technology advances. You don't complain that during, like, the Civil War they didn't use, smart bombs and drones because they didn't frickin' have them, okay? Morality changes over time. There are advancements in philosophy, just like there are advancements in science. And so to judge the past by today's standards is fucked up, all right? Screw these people.
No, can I just, I'd also like to qualify that point. Because the idea that we now have to judge these people by the ridiculously overly hypersensitive bullshit that is there, no. By people who have barely even stubbed a fucking toe in their life.
We had some great stories last night.
Right? That's not morality. What they're trying to judge people by is not morality now.
I forget what his name was, but he was on the stream last night, and he had a great story about how he went into a room, he didn't say anything to his coworker, and then his coworker, this soy boy beta male, called him into human resources for intimidating him for being nothing but 6'6" and like 250 pounds.
Yep, I get that all the time.
But at any rate,
that all the time.
Moving on to threaten, the EU slams Italy for threats to pull funding over immigrants. Italy has basically said, you take care of these immigrants on our shores, or we are going to stop giving you money. My opinion is, stop giving them money now. What the hell are you doing waiting for? Why do you need a fucking excuse? Get out. Get out now. The building's on fire. Run. The phone call is coming from inside the EU. Escape while you still can.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. They're going to get what they earn. Same thing as Greece has done. I mean, Greece should have separated from the European Union, should have re-established its own currency, reinstituted the drachma, devalued its currency, and just floated. You know, it would have been. It would have been
infinitely better off. They would have been. They infinitely better off.
Cabbage, you're missing the point. Cabbage is that Greece are a bunch of lazy ass fucks that want everyone else to pay for them.
Well, exactly.
Well, that's why they got in the first place, but then they realized that there were lazier people than them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the problem.
But they only got in.
I will never eat a Greece's brain, okay? Anybody from Greece, I will not eat that brain. It is not worth it. It is high in calories. It just goes straight to your thighs.
He is Greece.
A minute on the lips, a month on the hips.
he is Greece, right? Oh, we'll join the EU and every cunt can pay for us. Oh, hang on. They want their money back. Oh, well, let's just work as hard as we can to find out how much we can fuck them over before they actually get the money.
But the thing was that they should never have been included. The only reason they got included was because of, I think it was Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I totally cooked the books. I apologize for that.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when Rami wears a dress.
Yeah, well, we forgot to carry the one, you know.
We forgot to carry the 1 and the 3,000 zeros behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what happens when your army wears a dress.
Well, that's true. And funny slippers, too.
And we kick like showgirls.
Anyway,
Well,
anything else real quick?
Just because I'm curious. Yeah, just because I'm curious. Cabbage and Farty, you guys are both veterans, right? Eldritch, did you serve at all?
Was I ever in the military? Nope, I was denied.
Well, no, I can tell by the way Farty and Cabbage keep going back and forth. And Cabbage is me, he did serve. I think Farty has told me as well. So
yeah, I spent 6 years in the Australian Army. I spent a few years as a UN peacekeeper, and that wasn't fun. No, me and Cabbage get along because we're in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, well, we're family.
See, that's something you guys had a couple of 100 years ago, but now you want a king and a queen, and you sort of fucked yourselves out of it beforehand. So
we could always join Asgardia.
But, Jesus.
Yeah, we need it. No, I'm a secret agent from Utopia, man. So I can't join another country.
The British Commonwealth is more than ample. We just need to take that out into space.
In answer to your actual question, George, me and Cabbage actually, we might sort of look like we fucking fight like fucking cats and dogs, but we have a historic background, and we still hold that as trust and true and all this. And he'll say the same thing when, Australian military, he'll back me up to the hilt, all this kind of stuff. It's just it's a tradition. It's it's
family. It's family, exactly. Man. Family.
Pretty much. Australia is a part of England.
It is.
No, fair enough.
You are us, we are you.
I was just like I said, in the side chat, I had to step away, and I came back to you guys talking about military stuff, and you two were just bantering back and forth, and I could tell that I think Eldritch was like I am and hasn't served. So it's the in club and the out club kind of in that conversation. And Cabbage, you've thrown that shit at me once on a live stream before too, where you haven't even served anyway, and you railed on me. Yeah, so.
Any rate.
Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah.
Moving on here. Moving on.
The thing is, No,
Okay,
I was
real quick.
but I'd never had to pull my weapon in vengeance or anything like that. I've been fortunate in that respect because I was there, and it was only 3 years. So,
But yeah, Dodge. The thing of you don't know until you've been there. That really holds true. Whether you've actually pulled a gun and fired a shot or not it's just you had to be there.
Yeah, and I've never.
Well, moving on real
that's
quick.
Why I can understand the difference.
Well, anyway, moving on.
Sorry.
Now the Paul Manafort thing. This article's a little out of date, as we all know. Acquitted on 10, convicted on 6, whatever. Don't lie on your taxes. They will come for you, and they will own your ass. Okay, so that's all that needs to be said here. But here's the part that was up for me that really pissed me off is the CNN basically said to the judge, hey, we want to dox these jurors and let everybody know who they are while they're in deliberations. What? And the judge said, fuck you. Okay, and I'm glad the judge did, but they were trying. No, that's if the judge says it's okay, it's okay. But basically, CNN was attempting to intimidate the frickin' jurors. Okay, that's the situation.
They shouldn't have won any case on that because, the whole point of a jury is a anonymous group of your own peers and fucking. I
can't believe that. I just thought that they would have been in violation of something just to even threaten to do something like that. I mean, that surely is.
Apparently, there's a legal basis for it, but this is the arrogance of the CNN. This is their arrogance that they were going to do everything they could to stack the deck, and they were going to basically dox these people so that people could come by and say, "Hey, aren't you going to how can you support Trump?" Well, it has nothing to do with Trump. It's Manafort. He tried to prevent the government from stealing his money. Okay, I admit it. He did it the wrong way, but, taxation is theft. I know you wanted to say that, but, dodge. I got it there for you.
I think the more controversial...
You stole my line, damn it.
Yeah, I think the more controversial point would have been if the fucking magistrate went, okay, yeah, we're going to publish all the jurors and everyone can go and fucking give them shit and all this kind of stuff. That would have been the most controversial part of it.
I just can't even believe that that's technically legal. I don't even think if the judge said it's okay that it would be legal.
Oh, it would be legal. It's just it's against policy. It's not a law. It's policy.
Well, no, and the thing is, Cabbage, we don't have the gag. We don't have the gag order the UK has when it comes to the jury. They separate the jury pool from the outside world as much as they can. They usually, if it's a high up murder case like OJ, the OJ case.
Oh, these people weren't secluded. This wasn't a secluded jury. That's the problem. They didn't seclude them. These people were allowed to go home. They were just ordered, don't watch the news.
No, you see, Dodge. Also, too, you got to also realize that America is the same as England and what's called a Westminster System, which is the same thing. Juries and group of your peers, proven guilty, innocent until proven guilty, all that kind of shit. That's the Westminster System. That comes from England, and same thing there with you can't publicize who the jurors are because then. They've got to be excluded from the thing. And even then, in Australia, if you get jury duty, you get asked, are you prejudiced or biased or anything like that? And the quickest way to get out of the fucking jury duty is to say, yes, I fucking hate every cunt. Because then they'll just leave you the hell alone. So it's the same. It's a similar system. And, it does work the same in America. And this is the fundamental part about it is the jurors should not be publicized. They shouldn't have anything to do with the case or any knowledge of the case. And this is where social media can fuck people over with these people who are getting judged by the social media before they even have their time in court, because it's now publicized and you cannot fucking give that person a fair trial. Whether he's guilty or not, it's another story. It's now there is nobody who is going to side with that person or side against that person, and that's because of the public fucking social media bullshit aspect. And that's the thing I really fucking hate about that is that these sluts who go against the Me Too movement and all this. Oh, well, we're going to go and tell the story to the public first, and then we're going to court. That's not how you do it. And if you're going to do that, you can go fuck right off. I think you don't have a leg to stand on, not the person you're accusing.
Okay, fair enough. But the thing is, there is a difference between the United States and the British Commonwealth system. And the main difference is, no, it isn't the same thing. The main difference is we have sketch artists and reporters within the courtrooms. You guys don't. We have we have sketch
artists, but we have sketch artists, but we don't have cameras. That's the only. But
you're not allowed to record the proceedings. No. You can take photos of individuals inside the court, but you can't.
Yeah, that's why they have sketch artists.
Film the whole thing.
Yeah, you have a sketch artist, but you can't have cameras inside the actual courtroom. But I mean, that doesn't mean that you can't take pictures of people coming in and out of the court, of course.
Yes,
well, anyway, anything else on this real quick before we move on?
Yeah, no, I want to bring up Tommy Robinson.
Eldritch.
Okay, Tommy Robinson. Okay, let's move on to Tommy Robinson.
Well, no, and that's a great point here is Tommy Robinson. That's all he was doing was live streaming outside a courthouse in the UK. And then he got put in prison. You will not be put in prison within the United States for doing the same thing. We have a different judicial system. It is modeled upon the UK model. I will accept that, Farty. I understand that completely. I get history, dude.
Yeah, it's based on that.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I mean, there are differences. But yeah, I mean, well, Tommy, I mean, it was a fucking joke. What happened there? I mean, everyone knows it. That's why they had to overturn it. You know, that's why they're now going back through the fucking process just so they can try to justify it somehow. That's really all they're doing now, by the way.
And then they put it off. Then they put it off again, like they did Dankula. What are they gonna do? Give him a fucking fine?
Well,
you know, hence the term
nothing would surprise me.
Yeah.
At any rate,
there's a bunch of shit that shouldn't happen. Hey,
more SJW Corporation bullshit. At any rate, Louisiana bans Bank of America, Citibank from bond sale over their gun policies because I believe Citicorp has been discriminating against gun orders. Louisiana said, you know what? Screw you. You can't get in on this bond sale, and they lost out on $600 million.
Wow. Holy shit.
So what was that like? They repossessed a bunch of property and then tried to sell guns, and then the legal system sort of went, "Hey, hang on a minute, you're not gun owners and gun salespeople, so fuck you."
It's just virtue signaling. These companies actually didn't lose a lot of money by saying, "Hey, we're not going to support gun sales and all this other crap." But so many people got, and they figured, "Oh, we're going to get goodwill by being anti-gun." But in reality, what government said is, we think you're screwing with people's, Second Amendment rights, so we will not deal with you as the government. $600 million is a big loss. Okay, that is a lot of money to lose out on.
So was that a Trump? Was that a Trump decision or something? Because
no, that was Louisiana. The state said, you know what?
Okay, right.
Fuck you. Okay. Fuck you, city. Fuck you.
Who's the governor of the state? Because give him a high five.
Yeah, I mean, they were selling bonds, which was a lot of profit to be made. I mean, state bonds are like second only to the federal U.S. Treasury bonds. And you know what? Citibank, go screw you. So I'm good with this. I think this should happen more. When a corporation, like virtue signals and says we are going to strip American citizens of their rights, and we're going to treat them as scumbags based on what they should be allowed to do by the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. The government should stop dealing business with them and cut their contracts and say you want to discriminate against American citizens. That's fine. You're not doing it while being paid by the state or federal governments. Fuck you. Fuck you.
On the face of it, that kind of sounds like a large exhale. Finally. Moment.
Yeah, it is. That is actually that is the most fucking sensible thing I've heard all evening. That is the only. I mean, thank God there is some. Well, we do have something. Where we've got a little, an olive branch to grasp. There is something still out
I
there.
have a theory that while the federal government needs to be as small as possible, we don't have to like shrink state government. There's a lot of stuff the federal government does that should be offloaded on the states, and then that's 50 different states competing. So if one state fucks up, people will just leave and go somewhere else. And then they'll realize, holy crap, maybe taxing our people into oblivion and putting all the money in our pockets and trying to convince everybody that, hey, people shitting in the street is good. Let's pay $100,000 a year for somebody to wipe up shit off the ground instead of just arresting these assholes. But I'm getting ahead of myself here.
No, no. I saw that because that San Francisco one, with the shitting in the streets and stuff, that was just amazing.
Actually, no. What's amazing?
California being you're like, what, the fourth largest economy on the entire planet. I mean, as a...
No, they're down to 8th. The 8th.
Oh, they're down to 8th. Okay, so they managed to fucking diminish themselves because everyone's fucking off to Austin in Texas and they're corrupting that place now, apparently. But yeah, so I mean,
gonna fall.
Yeah, but I don't know if you know, but they've hired 8 people at over $100,000. We don't know the exact figure, but it's over $100,000 for these 2 city crews. $100,000 per person salary on top of how much it costs. I mean, holy crap! So they've got these guys going around with high-powered hoses on trucks to blast shit off the sidewalk. I mean, fuck! Fuck! What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. Why don't you try arresting the people shitting in the street? How about that? How about...
Actually, this doesn't sound more different to London. Like the last time I was in London, I was sitting out in front of a pub, and because you can't smoke in pubs in London, and there was a group of people that were blasting shit off the high pressure hoses, blasting shit off the pavement. It just made the pavement look clean. It wasn't.
No,
actually
they do that. Yeah, but that's there was for chewing gum.
They were just making the pavement look clean. They were blasting shit off the pavement, for want of a better term.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you need to clean the sidewalks every once in a while. You got to send the street cleaner down every once in a while. But these people have the specific job of, when a call comes in, you see shit on the street, who are you gonna call? Poop busters, and they're gonna freaking come down there with their woo woo woo. And I bet it's gonna be all women. It's gonna be all women because it's got to be diverse and shit.
No, it's going to be the poo because they lice poo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. It's going to be women that we're going to be doing.
Well, of course, no woman is going to take the job of being a shit cleaner because who's going to go? When I was hanging out at the tea party with everybody else discussing things, oh hey, my Dodge, catch you later. No, you got to go.
Actually, just on that note, I used to have it was a mate of mine, and their sewage got fucking all fucked up, and it was his wife who was a nurse who was the first one to go, rightio, slap on a glove, start scooping shit out of the sewerage just to make the thing flow properly again. I'm like, yeah, of all the stuff that I've done, nah, I'm not going to fucking scoop shit out of the hole. Fuck that for a joke. Hey, go the nurses.
Now you're talking to somebody who, as a profession, actually wipes people's asses. Okay, I deal with quadriplegics, people who can't wipe their own ass. Somebody's got to wipe that ass. I wipe that ass. Okay? I'm proud of being an ass wiper because these people can't do it. All right? I take care of people, but there's no real shame in this job.
As long as you don't get sexually aroused, it's fine.
Oh, dear God, no.
But you see,
oh, dear God, no. No.
I do come from a world I would not ask someone. I wouldn't ask someone to do something I wouldn't do myself. And fiddling with shit is something I wouldn't do myself, so I won't ask anyone to do it.
No.
But if you gotta do it, I'm not gonna stop you.
But let's move on to some stupid shit, shall we? Man fakes mugging, slashes his own arms to avoid buying girlfriend expensive car. Talk about being non-confrontational. Men go to extreme lengths to fulfill their loved one's wishes, but this story was about a man who went to extremes to ensure that he wouldn't have to fulfill a promise he made to his girlfriend, while at the same time making sure she didn't blame him for it. Earlier this month, a man named Tang from Chengdu, China, promised his girlfriend that he would buy her a brand new luxury car. And she reminded of the problem ever since. So in order to get out of it, he faked his own mugging. Yay. There is so much new stupid shit coming out of China, it's not funny.
Well, see, that's the point of it. That's the problem with a country that's fucking locked themselves off from the rest of the world. They're starting to fucking do stupid shit like that. There's one dude who he fucking took this Sheila into marrying him from fucking Japan or something like that, and then he stood in a square for 20-something days, and she never showed up, and it turns out it was some fucking Australian dude.
Oh, he got catfished? Wow.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, the Chinese are so fucking dumb. This is China and their big military is that they're war hungry, but they're not. And when they finally do go to a proper war, they're going to lose a fuck ton of people before they actually start to figure out how to fight it properly. And that's where China is probably going to fall down. Is where, the male only policy with the births and all that shit.
They got rid of that.
Yeah, they got rid of it now, but it's still going to take a few generations for it to actually kick in. So if they go to war tomorrow, it's going to be a case of fucking half the population will probably be lost before they start to figure out how to fight wars properly because they've got absolutely zero experience. They're war hungry, but they're no experience. And then there's going to be a large welfare state that's going to show up, but of course with the Chinese, there's no welfare state, so these are going to be fucked in the grave. And that's going to be where China starts to learn, and this is where their economy is going to drop. People are going to stop buying shit off them because chances are
it's already. They've been lying about their economy for a decade now, and it's finally catching up.
Oh no, shit! But it's going to drop drastically because if they do attack somebody, it's probably going to be somebody that's going to be against the West anyways, and then there's going to be embargoes.
I honestly don't think China's ever going to pick a fight.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
They realize that the advantage of their economic.
What China is doing at the moment is internalizing its economy. And all of those, the empty cities that everyone was going on about. No, that was called preparation. Because they knew that they were going to displace Christ knows how many people. I mean, we're talking hundreds of millions of people that are being displaced out of the agricultural areas. So they're preparing their own economy. So I don't see that. They may not have any, stuff outside, but their internal economy, I don't see it collapsing.
I don't see China collapsing. It's just that they're not honest, and as such, they make a lot of redundancy mistakes. That's the problem.
They're banking on things like, say, property in Australia. Like this is something that's just fallen through, and this is part of Australian legislation that came through about 7 years.
Actually, with dollars. You see, they're speculating with dollars, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I've never.
They're not speculating with the yuan. They're not speculating with gold or anything. They're speculating with dollars. So if it goes, then
So
also
dollar doesn't have a gold standard anymore. But what
there you go.
It was they were buying up properties like fucking crazy, and they were utilising things like the first home owners grant, which is the Australian government gave anybody who bought a first home. And so they were buying shit up cheap, pretty much, and they had more money than fucking brains. And now the property market in New South Wales, in Sydney particularly, fell through. It fell through at the beginning of the year. It just died in the ass.
Look at London. We have London, and there are entire streets of mansions. Fucking enormous homes. That are just derelict, effectively, because, but they've been bought out by the Chinese, utilizing all their surplus, US dollars.
Yeah, we had $1 million properties just almost fall through the arse. You couldn't rent them out for like $10 a pop. And I was actually looking at this particularly because my grandmother, who passed away earlier this year, and her property fucking went for like $2.5 million. And when they they bought the property back in 1940 something or fucking rather. It was only about $1,000. It was fucking ridiculous, and tiny little house with a giant fucking property. And these Chinese cunts went and bought it for fucking umpteen $1 million, and now it's worth nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to bring this back around. I'd like to bring this back.
Being used as the way of it's slush money. It's stuff that you can use. Like,
well, I want to bring that back around a more relevant current topic. Actually, I'm going to jump ahead here.
Hang on. Just real quick, but you have a look at what's happening in Sierra Leone. China is actually doing a lot of infrastructure work in Sierra Leone, thinking that Sierra Leone with their diamonds and all that kind of stuff is going to bring them a whole bunch of money. And it's only been recently that the diamonds have been not portrayed as blood diamonds. They actually are allowed to sell diamonds again to help the government. But do you think the government's going to help China? No. It's only been about 3 weeks ago where the boat that I helped get them, the Isle of Man, which thanks to the Isle of Man for donating that boat, fucking stopped a bunch of Chinese fishermen. They're still, like, all the illegal fisheries were from China. And it's only been recently that they're fighting against the Chinese. So all the investment that's gone into places like Sierra Leone are now being reneged because the Chinese are a bunch of fucks. They're trying to buy shit up cheap, and they're not going to do anything for the actual proper infrastructure to make anything work. They're hoping that the black fellas are going to work for slaves again.
No,
you all set now?
In Indonesia.
Yeah.
All right, well, to skip ahead here, as we know, South Africa is starting their taking land from white farmers thing. I just want to say this officially. There's no white genocide. There is white farmer genocide. This is nothing more than a land grab, an attempt to steal land from people. Only 1% of the general population in South Africa actually gives a shit about land distribution, as per their own internal polls. However, why is this going on? Well, I can't pin it down yet, but it's starting to look like the Chinese want land. And as such, they are making this land valuable. And so it isn't just that they're greedy and want to steal land, but they have a buyer. If China wasn't dumping so much money into Africa in general to buy up land and crap, this may not be. No, I can't pin this down yet. But I'm still investigating. But it's looking like that's starting to be part of the case.
I don't see any Chinese farmers going in there.
Oh no, they don't. They won't be the farmers. They'll be the owners. Look, just like the CEOs of Burn Dairy doesn't own any of these. Owns lots and lots of dairy farms. They don't actually milk any cows.
My stepbrother lives in South Africa. He was originally in Kenya. He moved from Kenya, and then he went to Pretoria, and he got a bit freaky around Pretoria because of all the crazy shit that's going on. And then he now lives basically in a sort of, in Johannesburg, in a comfortable middle-class enclave.
Okay.
But no, trust me, this shit is not, it is really, really serious. And
I think it's going to get really bad really quickly. I don't think this is going to go down like they think it's going to be. This started out as just greed. It's going to completely spiral out of control.
This is Zimbabwe all over again. It's a repeat of the same fucking cycle that's happened. And it's not just there. It's happened on numerous occasions with different African nations. And they say it's anti-colonialism. And then what do? They end up starving themselves. And then they call everybody else to say, oh, we're starving now. It's like, well, maybe, you should have actually...
Well, this is going to spiral out of control.
Farm the land,
It's going to spiral out of control.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, but the thing is, the sympathy valve is getting pretty tight now, isn't it? Right? Because, how many times do you have to show these people how to fucking run their own country? If they can't do it now, then what's the point of trying to teach them again?
I don't know what the solution is.
Like animals. Let them live like animals. Seriously. Enough's enough. That might sound, harsh, but it's like, no, seriously.
I'm all for we shouldn't fix their problems. We need to tell them, don't do this shit, and we either need to stop them, or if we're not going to stop them, we need to go, okay, you're on your freaking own.
But they have access to the internet. They can see all this stuff. They can actually build their own countries. They could be creative. They could be, they can have their own initiatives. They can have their own.
Here's the problem. Just so you know, I know somebody down in South Africa, a friend of my wife's, and lesbian. Not a good country to be a lesbian in, unfortunately. She was a nurse, highly educated, and she was doing quite a bit to try and, do right. And she's like, oh, no, most people don't hate whites. And then she disappeared. And last I heard, the cops contacted my wife and asked if she knew anything about where she went. Like, the people who are reasonable are disappearing.
That's all right. I mean, this is what I'm saying. You can't appease this stuff.
The internet might be down there, but people are afraid, and they will not stand up. And so...
No, but the fact is that they have the ability to make their lives better, and they choose not to because they want...
I don't know if it's a choice at this point.
About what their situation is. Yeah,
they should have made the choice about 10 years ago. I don't know if there's enough...
They should have made a choice about 50 years ago when it was fucking colonized, and they recognized the fact that people were actually doing something good for them.
And some of them had the fucking chance whilst... in the last 20 years.
Not
50 years. No, trust me, I was there. Fucking 20 fucking years ago, we went to 2 different countries and tried to fucking.
How are you going to overthrow these people in charge? How are you going to overthrow them? Because at this point, I believe this 100%. They're just making they're making people who oppose the current government disappear. Okay, they're just vanishing.
I don't know.
But they're destroying their own country. I mean,
no. The government, the rulers are destroying the country. The people as a whole, well, I hate to say it, either they need to get organized and do something.
The people are doing it because they're the ones who are killing the farmers. They're the ones who are killing the farmers.
It's not every South African, okay? It's a very small percentage. It's like the social justice warriors. You're looking at 3% of the population's a problem.
Not all. Right.
No, it's actually, but the other 97% isn't doing shit.
Shut the fuck off for a fucking second, United Nations, and then let the fucking monkey that was on the ground fucking talk.
Go ahead.
Honestly, United Nations, shut the fuck up for a sec and listen to the monkey that was actually there.
Hey, I've been there. I've been to fucking Kenya and South Africa.
Let Farty talk. Let Farty talk. Let Farty get in.
You're not the only one.
It's not that fucking easy, but I tell you what, side with the cunts that want to get back with the Commonwealth and things like that. That's why I keep talking highly about Sierra Leone, because I've been there twice with a gun to try and keep cunts out of fucking other people's backyards. But I went to Sierra Leone and I left every single fucking defensive weapon and all this kind of shit in my bags in the hotel because I didn't think I needed it. Something. Now, what's happening in South Africa is going to be a thing. It's going to happen, whether we like it or not. That's happening. Just get fucking used to it.
It's happening because most 97% of the population isn't trying.
No,
that's the problem. They're letting the 3% run the show.
The United Nations aren't going to do shit because South Africa is actually the political capital of Africa. Now, if anything happens everywhere else in Africa, they have to see South Africa to try and get security forces in there to stop it. And it used to be mercenaries, now it's private security. Now, and this happened in Sierra Leone as well. They had to see South Africa to get executive outcomes in to stop the war because the United Nations couldn't do shit. And we are going to see bloodshed. We're going to see some horrific things. It is.
Oh, what do you mean? You're going to see? There already is. There are people being slaughtered in their beds. There are children being murdered.
You think it's bad? It's going to get worse. Don't worry.
No, this is just the starting trickle. That's
what I mean. So, and this is exactly what happened in Zimbabwe. Same thing that happened there with the white farmers.
The only way something is going to happen to stop this from being a thing is if someone like Britain or America or Australia or Russia, which is probably going to be the most part of it, Russia will walk in and they'll stop everything and go like what they did in Syria. Like, hey, you had a war on terrorism. we fucked up all the terrorists. Now what you going to do? Oh, you're going to have flyovers on our area. Okay, you're going to stop us from stopping terrorism. Okay. Yes. You're a good guy.
You know what? I would not mind if Russia stepped in. At this point, I don't see Russia doing jack.
They have no bases. They have no bases. They have no facilities. They've got nothing.
I didn't say they were going to. I said I wouldn't mind.
Hang on. Now, the thing with Russia is that they might be looking at trying to move their globalization and all this bullshit, but no. In Syria, they have been the most effective against ISIL, and I can't believe it's not ISIS, and fucking ISIS lied, and all that kind of shit. They have been the most effective, and it's their turn to fucking go and waste people's lives against a brick fucking wall and all this kind of shit. It's their turn. Now, if they took over fucking South Africa, I wouldn't be any fucking. I couldn't give a shit because Russia at this point in time, they need.
How would it be achieved? I don't see it.
Hold on one sec here. Let Cabbage get his point in.
I don't see how it's even remotely feasible, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you've already got, an established, number one, I mean, obviously the UN and things, I mean, all the fucking conflicts. If the Russians suddenly turned out with, I don't know, however many aircraft carriers that they would need and all of the frigates and the troops that they would have to have in order to occupy South Africa. I mean, it's a big fucking area.
You wouldn't need to occupy it. Here's the thing.
You got to remember too that.
Well, yeah, but he's saying about them taking it over.
You don't. It actually doesn't take that much.
I thought you meant that it was going to be invaded and taken over. And
yeah, but it doesn't require as much as you think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
see, here's the thing: is that 97% of the population. No. Let me speak. I mean,
that's what Britain did. That's what Britain did for the fucking empire. It was all done with deals. I mean, that's the thing. You can always do a deal, but unless you're saying that Russia's just going to be doing a deal with South Africa.
No, I don't think Russia's going to give a shit. I don't think they're going to go down there. I wouldn't mind if they did, but I don't. But the thing is that you remember what I said. 97% of the population doesn't give a shit. So you don't need to conquer the nation. You need to go in and give the 97% that doesn't give a shit a chance to say, no, this is stupid and change course. But every time anybody who's local stands up and starts to say this is a bad idea, something happens to them. Nobody who's local in South Africa has the balls to stand up and say, this is wrong, because they won't survive.
Hang on. We're all missing the point.
You're saying basically a proxy state or something. Like, is that what you... No, not you, Eldritch.
Like, no, I'm saying that the people who don't want... A lot of people don't care about this. Only 1% of the population actually gives a shit about land reform. The people in general don't care that whites have 71% of the land. They don't care. But they're too afraid of the government to do anything to stop this. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, the ANC. Yeah, the ANC has completely fucked everything up. And the trouble is, though, that they will be giving a shit, and they actually do give a shit, because they can't even get fed now. Because the farmers are not fucking farming. They don't.
They can eat right now. They can eat right now, and they don't care about. They don't care about tomorrow. Because if they stand up and do anything about it now, they're going to get killed.
Irrigation's all fucked up because the engineers and the ridiculous quota systems that have been introduced.
Do you think that these people are going to die for that?
Straits.
Who do you think in South Africa is going to die for that?
No, they will die for that. They will die for
it. No. They won't die to stop it. No, they won't die to stop it.
They won't die for it. They'll die because of it.
Yes, that's two different things. They'll die because of it, but they won't die for it.
Hey. When the Russians walk in and they start saying, you do what we say, you're going to fucking gulag.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not buying that.
That's not going to happen because there's no profit in it for Russia. Russia's never going to do it.
But don't worry. Russia comes in, we get rid of your landmines. We fucking make peace in your country. You don't ask us of anything.
Look, the British already tried that. It didn't work. And anyway, even when you try and make the country better, they don't fucking learn. But, how many times have you got to try?
This is just going to go completely to hell. Well, we're circling the drain here. Let's get the final thoughts and then move on.
Hang on. The difference between the British and the Russians is that the British will go, oh, well, okay, we'll come along with a bunch of fucking Enfield rifles and fire 1 round a minute and all this kind of shit. The Russians will be like, yes, you do this, we fire at you with AK for your family, and then we fuck you off to Gulag in fucking bloody...
But it's never going to happen. They're never going to do it. There's no profit in it. There's no profit in South Africa. There's no profit in it.
Well,
they could do that, but there's no profit. They won't do it. There's no profit.
There's plenty of profit in that.
No, but what profit is there in trying to fix South Africa?
Well, then again, what's the point in fixing any of it? Like I said, Zimbabwe. I mean, Zimbabwe's now calling for farmers to come back because of exactly the same problems that are now arising in South Africa. You know, the way that they're acting. They've done exactly the same thing as Zimbabwe, and then they're looking surprised.
I'm afraid that
it's like Venezuela. They did the same thing too. And look, what is their inflation rate? 1,000 and something %. You know.
Since
again, gone down the Zimbabwe route.
No. You and I sitting here, safe in our computers, can talk about this all day long. But I'm telling you, we're down in South Africa. You start talking about this shit, you're dead. You will disappear. That's it.
I do talk about this with my. I do talk to this.
Are they an activist that is out there on the streets?
No, he's not an activist.
That's why he's not gonna. That's why he doesn't disappear, because he's not doing anything that draws attention. Yeah, you draw attention, they come for you.
The shit that's going on. Sake, shut the fuck up. Since I'm about 10 beers in, I can't eloquently put my point across. You're just gonna have to trust me that the fucking communists actually do have a point here, and just watch them. Just watch them.
Well, no, I don't think that. I really don't think. I don't think Russia is a particular issue. I mean, it will be involved, obviously. I mean, like every international player, Britain's going to be involved, and so is going to be Israel, and probably fucking, every other nation.
Well, we're repeating ourselves here. So, anything else, real quick, and then we're going to move on.
Move on.
All right. Man falls into giant hole after stepping into it to check if it's real. Yes.
Fucking idiot.
A man was recently injured after falling into an 8-foot deep art installation in the Ceredes Foundation Museum in Porto, Portugal. He thought the hole looked fake, so he decided to test it by stepping onto it. Apparently, descent into limbo, an optical illusion that looks like a black circle painted on the floor, is indeed an 8-foot tall pit, and he decided to step onto it and went shloop. So I thought this was worth mentioning because this sounds so stupid.
Stuff. Yeah, it's just a shame that he survived. It's like that should be Darwinism.
So that's the next South Africa president then.
All right, moving on. Man puts 300 billboards and signs overnight up all over the place in India to ask for his girlfriend's forgiveness.
He should have tried roofies.
Holy crap! Now that is some next level like soy boy here.
That's some serious desperation. That's like a Medica thing. I mean, Medica should be covering that one.
I mean, that's like
some weird shit.
Wow, Shivdi, I am sorry.
No, you know what? They should just send him a letter saying, "Lewds are fucking easier, dude."
Yeah, but why would you want to make an ass of yourself in such a way?
Oh, and it didn't end well. Apparently, she still didn't forgive him. Like all that money spent, and it didn't work.
If he'd have gone back to her and just slapped her and said, "Shut up, you bitch," he'd have probably loved him more.
Yeah, really, he should have broke out the pimp hand. It would have worked better than this.
He probably would have had a better relationship if he got his mates to rape her.
Well, no, come on, let's not cross that line there. Come on now. I know it's India and they've got all those like rapes on buses, but come on. Seriously.
No, but seriously, if he'd have just fucking ignored her and said, "Fuck you," that would have been done better than sticking a fucking bill.
Yeah, because this just God, no. If there's one thing I've learned that, grand gestures don't work.
No, women's don't like the needy.
Anyway,
I'm all for beating them over the head and dragging them back by the hair back.
There you go. You see, traditional. That's traditional. That's
well, anyway, no stream would be complete without Maxine Waters, who, while the rest of the Democrats are trying to downplay any talk of impeaching Trump, she is going full bore, saying, "Yep, we have a responsibility to impeach Trump for high crimes." What high crimes? We don't have any, but
the high crime of having a 30 caliber clip magazine forward stock thingy doodle.
The fact of the matter is that the Republicans couldn't use a better person on their side than Maxine Waters. Every time she opens her mouth, she helps them out. I just wanted to comment on that.
All you need is just because reasons, right? Because that's all you need. Because reasons. We're going to do this because reasons.
She's just fucking senile, that bitch. I mean, she was the one that was like trying to fight against AR-15s by saying they had a 30 caliber clip magazine thingy bob, which is like five or six different terms of like, what the fuck are you on about? Oh,
she didn't know the difference between a round and a bullet.
Because they've got a forward stock that makes them more killable than something without a forward stock, and because they've got a wooden hand grip that makes them fucking more beatable than fuck off, you idiot.
No, it was a bump stock, I think, that one. I remember that.
Yeah, the 30 caliber magazine clip bump.
Yeah, but I think it was a bump stock that she was going on about, because that turns
well, let's get into feminism for a while.
You're reading more into that than what I fucking saw, because she didn't say bloody bump stock. She said everything but bump stock, but yeah.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, moving on. This is a great article.
She said all those terms, but it didn't actually seem like, proper English. These things have a bump stock. No, she said 30 caliber magazine clip, bump stock, thingy doodle, forward grip handle with the muzzle flash thingy fucker. Oh, piss off, you idiot.
Gotcha. Well, I got something else to set you off here. Here's an article from The Guardian. Men's fixation on young women is another sign of masculinity in crisis. Yes, apparently, while women can find men attractive as old as 50, because women like men who are rich and successful, men apparently think that a woman reaches her prime at the age of 18, according to this study, and that they go downhill from there. This article would like to let you know that men attracted to emotionally unstable women, preferably no older than 18, is rather common, and this is a sign of men's fragile masculinity, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe men are just attracted to young, fertile women. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, when they find out the Vatican's legal age is 12 for blokes, they'll probably go there too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, 18 is actually getting pretty fucking generous.
I just...
18's legal here.
Yeah, 16's legal here.
I mean, they tried...
16 for girls, 18 for blokes.
Look, I'm sorry, but,
16 for both here.
Men do... Contrary to what feminists will tell you, men actually do want to have children. And they want to have the best mother, and that usually means the healthiest women they can find. So, yeah, I'm sorry, but the older you get, the less fresh your eggs are and the less appealing you are. Sorry. I don't know if you realize this, women.
Our sperm is fresh and fruity all the time. So
yeah, but you see, the older bitches that go for the younger guys, that's what's called a smother, not a mother.
Yeah, but it's not going to do you any good, because she's going to end up with some weird deformed little creature.
Well, moving on here to how hypocritical these feminists are. Man leads police to body, faces murder charges for Molly Tibbetts. Now, the man in question, as everybody knows, is an illegal immigrant.
I was wondering when you're going to get on that one. Yeah, no, fucking. I saw that and I thought, okay, they're illegally.
Feminists are defending this guy. They're defending this guy. Fucked up.
Fucking stupid cunt. Fucking stupid cunt. Fucking stupid, dirty, stupid.
Because people are just going to use this as a reason to hate, immigrants, or maybe they hate illegal immigrants. I don't know. Maybe that. How about they want to?
the instant this came out as an undocumented fucking illegal immigrant, like, oh, fucking all of these fucking sanctuary city cunts are going to go fucking ape shit about that. And like, now you're saying like dumb fuck feminists are going, oh, don't blame him. Like, fucking, you wonder why you ended up dead in a ditch with your ass hanging in the air, you stupid fucking assholes.
Oh, but no, it gets worse. It gets worse.
The Swedish. Right?
No. It gets worse.
Doing that for years.
Let me add a little fuel to this fire here. So on CNN, they have this great conversation about this, and they're talking to a senator about this. And what does the senator do? Pivots around to immigration, saying, "But isn't it tragic how these women are being separated from their children because of our immigration policy, and that's the real tragedy here." Holy fuck, the parents of Molly Tibbetts have been permanently separated from this racist bitch who apparently hates all white people. That's Molly Tibbetts, hates all white people.
Oh, that makes me feel better about talking shit about John McCain. Hey, wait, this guy's talking shit about this dead chick. Oh, yeah, well, there's no worries. I'm going to talk about John McCain.
I'm sorry, but this is all just fucked in the head. I mean, everybody involved in this is just screwed up.
See now, people used to be very compliant when the threat of actually beating some fucking sense into them was an actual fact. Now we can't do that anymore. Like, now dumb cunts can fucking say dumb cunty fucking things. Fucking dumb cunts.
Yeah. Not only that, they can get away with it, and not only that, be protected.
Yeah.
And it's the feminists and these progressives who are defending these people who are killing them. Like, this woman was a progressive feminist, and she got killed by the people she's trying to protect. The guy, approached her as she was jogging.
Repeatedly. Have you not seen the one? I mean, there was that one in Germany. You know, there was. It was even. What was the minister that ended up? Somebody was raped, and she said that she didn't want it to become an issue because she didn't want it to be part of the anti-immigration policy. Yeah. I mean, this is the level of fucking, autism that you've got going on with the left right now. The sort of full-on, absolute leftist, ridiculous bullshit, Marxist.
Oh, let's move on to some more insanity here.
I honestly thought with that thing when it came out, it was an undocumented thing that the story would be like, oh shit, undocumented sanctuary cities. What the fucking?
Yeah, but even when a minister or somebody who's in the government is willing to say that they don't want it to be declared as a rape, it was just a fucking struggle cuddle or something.
Oh, speaking of not declaring it a rape, 19-year-old Samantha Ray Mayers, using a machete, broke into her ex-boyfriend's home, held it to his throat, forced him to get naked, got on top of him, and had sex with him against his will. She was not charged with rape.
What kind of a fucking soy boy lets that even happen? God's sake, you can't take something off a woman. Please.
Well, no, I'm sorry. If somebody's got a knife to your throat, you're not going to do what you're told.
Well, no, I mean you would, yeah. But the thing is, you'd be looking at how to disarm them. You wouldn't be looking at how to fucking placate them.
Well, there was this woman called Anita Cobby in Australia who was raped. The forensic monkeys found that most of her fingers got severed because she was trying to hold the knife away from her throat. But hey.
I'm sorry. Fighting off somebody with a knife, even when they're, smaller woman, I'm sorry. But if the guy was playing on the safe side. My problem is this is rape. This is rape.
There is always a headbutt. Oh, yeah, it is definitely rape. What I don't understand is how he let it happen to begin with.
My point is, if you really didn't want it to happen, then you'd lose most of your fingers trying to hold the knife away.
I'm not saying you need to hold the knife away. All you got to do is headbutt the fucking bitch.
How do you headbutt somebody when the knife's already at your throat?
No, it doesn't. No, it's easy. You can headbutt over the knife.
Without being there, I can't say that I'm going to say, oh, this guy could have figured out what to do. Because you're making a big assumption there. You're making a big assumption there.
Now, I'm making a basic assumption that somebody in that situation is going to be looking at how can I either disarm this person or disable this person. That's the only two choices you're thinking about. It certainly isn't about the fact that you're going to get raped by them. You know?
I don't know what the thoughts going through a 19-year-old kid's head. I mean, certainly you would have done something different.
Basic survival instincts. I'm just thinking basic survival instincts. And at 19, that's what I'd be thinking is like, how the fuck do I get out of this?
Well, I'm just taking as example from the one case in Australia that almost brought back the fucking death penalty. Like, you know, Anita Cobby, when she had been raped and all this kind of stuff, beaten to bejesus, had several bones broken, all this kind of stuff, her last maneuver was to try and hold the knife away from her throat, and she almost had a... So if it was that bad that you didn't want that shit to happen, you should lose a few fucking fingers if there's someone coming with a knife to your throat. At least grab the cunt by the hand, twist the knife so that the blade doesn't actually touch your fucking neck. I don't know, like, and if you're a dude and some Sheila's on top of you and you can't overpower the bloody Sheila, well then, fuck it, you deserve it, you're a punce.
Seriously, I don't understand this kind of stuff, you know?
No, I get that you don't understand
that, you know, like, no, I mean, you know, like in women, I mean, the thing is, you don't even have to, you know, like the knife is not even the important thing, right? If you kick somebody on, say, the kneecap, if you do like a cross kick to a kneecap,
kick a Sheila in the ovaries, she drops like someone's been kicked in the dick.
I mean, you know, the idea that you can't defend yourself, I don't get it. I just don't buy it.
Oh, let me ask you this: if the genders had been reversed, would you be saying all this shit?
No, I wouldn't. Because that's exactly the difference. Because
yes, because as I said, Anita Cobby almost lost all of her fingers trying to stop the knife from slicing her neck.
Well, as some people say, I'd rather be raped than lose my fingers.
Most women, right? But but the thing is, right, most women don't have any real experience of, say, you know, high impact sports. So, you know, they don't really understand what it feels like to have, you know, contact, you know, proper full on contact when it comes to fighting or whatever. And so, you know, the slightest thing is you know, is dramatic to them. So the idea that this guy got dominated, I don't know. I just don't buy that particular story. I
get you.
I just say
men are disposable. I got it.
Pussy.
No, I got it.
No, I'm not saying men are disposable. I'm just saying that particular individual.
No, you don't think he was man enough. I got it. You think that for whatever reason he just wasn't a man because he let himself get raped. I got it.
No, she had to be of a mass. She had to be of a mass that he couldn't overcome. And if
exactly. If she was a fat bitch, then yes, I could.
If it was a slight built woman, then okay, you're a fucking punce. If it was a huge monkey of a cow kind of thing, that fucking
you got.
Or he had been told his whole life you never strike a woman, and so he didn't feel like he could hit back.
Well, that's his fucking problem. That is his fucking problem.
Oh, I got it. Yeah,
you strike a bitch.
If he wouldn't defend himself, then that's his fault.
I don't care if this woman is trying to kill me. She's a woman, so I will desperately not try to. No, fuck off. No, seriously, I've actually thrown a woman away from my car because she was trying to choke me, and she was like a third my fucking size, but that she tried to fucking choke me inside of my car whilst I was trying to get away from her, dictated that, okay, right, no.
What kind of women do you mean?
No, I get your position here and your viewpoints. I got it. Don't agree with him, but I understand.
Grabbing her by the throat, dragging her into my face and going, fuck off, as I threw her 10 feet away from the car, right, that's that. Right, she's not under the car. She didn't fall away from me and under the car, so I wasn't going to run away from her. I threw her a safe distance from the car and told her in no uncertain terms to go the fuck away or else things are going to escalate. Yeah, if she didn't fucking bother to fucking take those motions and those actions as fucking something that's going to cause her more harm, then okay, fine, I'm going to knock the fucking bitch out. It's as simple as that. Like, you've been told. How many more black eyes do you fucking need before?
No, no,
Two eyes. I
No,
can't
no,
do any more than that. Fuck off. God damn it.
Jeez.
No, I got it. You think the victim's fault is at fault here. I got it.
Oh, absolutely.
I understand.
No, I am just saying that the
Fucking pansy ass.
that guy. No, I'm just
70
saying that
fucking
the
years
guy.
ago, they're probably sending cunts like him off to fucking Omaha Beach. But no. 70 years later, oh, I got a fuck and I didn't really want it. Oh, what the fuck? You're a dude. You got a fuck. What are you fucking worried about? You fucking faggot fuck. Go down the fucking public.
And this is the whole point, right?
Fuck up your ass, you faggot.
And when you look at most of the newspapers, when you hear something bad has happened to, like a man, nobody really kind of bats an eyelid. But then as soon as it happens to a woman, oh my God, it's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, like, if that was the same thing the other way around, it's like, what we're doing? We're just feminizing men. It's bizarre. It's absolutely fucking bizarre. Of course a man should be able to defend himself. And he should be able to protect himself from a woman. I mean, okay, he might take a few cuts and he might lose a finger or something. But at least he should be able to fucking defend himself. By Christ.
Exactly.
Seriously.
I mean, this whole bullshit about, like, it doesn't matter what a woman does. It doesn't matter. Like, she can do all this kind of stuff, and the man has to just stand there and take it. I mean, okay, it becomes to a point. Okay, right, well, okay, she's throwing tins of beans at the bloke. Okay, right, okay, she's starting to come at the guy with a knife. He's got to stand there and fucking cop that shit. Get fucked. Oh, she's got a gun now. No. Just stand there and cop
but
it.
you got to remember,
I mean, no. Take that shit.
Well, no, it's just that the cops agree with you. That's why they didn't charge him with rape, because he felt he should have been able to stop it, and he clearly didn't. So they didn't charge her with rape because he didn't stop her.
But the point is, out here, no woman ever deserves to be struck by a man. Oh, no one ever deserves to... Oh, get fucked. No, there are people who do stupid shit that need to be fucking punched in the fucking head for what they fucking do.
No, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. But not everybody believes as you, one. And two, because of that belief, if he didn't defend himself, then clearly it's his fault, right?
Oh, he didn't defend himself, yeah. If he didn't defend himself, well, then he's got nobody to blame but himself, because he didn't fucking bother to do anything about it. I mean, what?
Except for the person who had the knife.
Oh, but then declares that he then got raped. Well, I mean, at least he got a fucking... Well, I mean, he was obviously excited enough to get a woody.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's the thing I usually say about cunts who go to jail. Like, oh, there's no rape in jail. Okay, all right. So did you take it up the ass? No, I gave it to somebody. Okay, so you got a hard on long enough to fucking get aroused by some cunt's hairy asshole, and you got aroused enough to fucking finish. All right, so you're not gay. No, you got aroused by some dude's hairy asshole. I'm sorry, but
I still don't get the idea that men can be raped. I really don't, because if you're getting wood, that means that the chick is...
No, that's a physiological response that, especially under age of 30, happens a lot. So yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh really? I can make your nipples get hard just by flicking them. So don't tell me that you can't give somebody an erection just by rubbing their cock. All right. If I grabbed your cock and I started giving you a hand job, you wouldn't get hard. Well, at your age, you might not, but.
No, it's not functional. It's not really something that you would be able to...
You've never been in high school and got an erection because you were sitting at your desk?
Oh, yeah, but that's high school.
Well, then he's 19 years old. He's 19 years old, and you expect him to have absolute control over his penis. That's amazing.
But why is he getting hard? Because he's got a... I mean, unless he's...
Because when you get... if you hang a man, he'll get an erection. If you hang a man, he'll get an erection. If I put a noose around your neck, I can give you an erection by strangling you. So don't
I
tell
can
me
give
you.
you two-
But
I
were
can
you?
give you two examples of what you guys.
Well, yeah, but and
Hang on, Cabbage.
and
Hang on.
no,
Miss
I don't
Nicoletich.
buy it.
Miss
I don't
Nicoletich
buy
was a
it.
fucking music teacher at my high school, and then Miss Minifie was an. Miss Nicoletich was something you'd fuck without even thinking. Fucking Miss Minifie was something that you'd just assume was something that grazed in the paddock. Now, you'd never get a hard on, even if Miss Minifie fucking came up and grabbed you by the dick and started jerking you off and gave you the best fucking hand job, sucked you off, all this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, fucking, she was horrific looking. But Miss Nicoletich, you damn near come your dad's before you walked in the fucking classroom.
That's what I mean. I mean, who would get
There's
a who?
fucking difference? Miss Minifie couldn't
who
fucking
would
rape
get-
a bloke. Miss Nicoletich could rape a bloke by
Yeah.
looking at him.
Who's gonna get wood like with Trigglypuff or something, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
I don't
but
care
we're not
how
talking
young
about
you are,
Trigglypuff
I
and-
mean, the hormones and everything, right? Yeah, but I'm saying this idea that it's just inevitable that it happens. It doesn't. Because I've had times where it's like, well, you know, she's really hot, and it's like, not really, you know, and I don't get any feelings about it. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're just, you know, you got a high T rating or something. But now, I mean, I don't know. I'm discerning, I guess.
Mm.
I have a degree of discernment because I don't get fucking hard on for every just because it's
Yeah, well, you're
got
not 19
it's got a
anymore,
pair of
dude.
tits. No, but even when I was 19, I remember what I was like, and I was pretty discerning back then too. Because I saw some hideous fucking.
Okay,
trolls
so
back
so he shouldn't have gotten a hard on, and it's clearly his fault.
then. No, I'm
Yeah,
not saying
no.
No. It's one or the other.
Why are you making
Either it
that
is
assumption?
possible.
What?
Either it is possible
What the
that he didn't
fuck?
have any control over a physiological
Oh,
response, or
yeah.
he does. Which is it? He has control over it, or he doesn't. Because I've given you multiple examples where he wouldn't.
Yeah, but okay. Well, even if he has control over his functions and stuff, and then somebody.
You're claiming he
themselves on
should.
his cock.
He should have had it.
No. I'm not claiming he should. I'm
Yo,
just saying
then what
it's
did-
unlikely.
No, you are. You are blaming him for getting a hard on.
No, I'm saying it's unlikely. Right. So yeah, but even.
Oh, I don't care if it's likely or unlikely. I don't care if this is the only time it ever happened on the planet.
Right.
It's
Okay,
possible.
Whatever it is. Right. So whatever it is, if he gets a hard on, and then some chick plants himself on, onto him, right? It's hardly traumatizing.
The way
So
I
you
see
say.
it is that Susan was a leso when I met
Why
her,
would it be?
but yeah, I could make her come several bloody times. Like it's like explosive fucking spurting fucking orgasms. No shit. This is a mark on the fucking wall I used to try and aim for, right? Several fucking times a night for 2 full years proper, right? Now, if I didn't turn her on and she ended up cheating on me, how in the fucking
I
Like, if
don't
you
understand
can
how that
turn it
answers
on
the
and
question.
off, if you can turn it on and off, right? If it's a physiological thing, how the fuck can I not do that to any other Sheila after that?
I'm
Using the same.
Yeah, but you got to
fucking
work. Yeah,
procedures
but
and
working,
all
like I said, even if you work with the assumption that this kid's just gonna get a hard on, and then a woman can just sit on him, right? So she can, but I mean, it's hardly like a trauma. You know what I mean? It's not like if you were in a pub fight, right? I mean, you want to look at trauma. You want to look at abuse or something like that. That's when you get in a fight in a pub. I mean, some woman just planting herself on your cock is hardly exactly a fucking trauma, is it?
Oh, you're talking to somebody
You know
who
what I mean?
talks people out of suicide,
Ridiculous.
and I'm going to tell you right now, if I wasn't bound by HIPAA regulations, I could give you a dozen examples.
What? And why somebody shouldn't plant themselves?
No, why it's traumatizing. I can give you horror stories that'll frickin' turn your head. You seem to think this is some
Well,
sort of
maybe-
loving experience here. You
I'm
know,
not
when
saying
you
it's
lost
loving
control of a
experience. No,
situation.
clearly it's not, because like you said it was
Because it's not about the
against
sex.
their
You think
will.
it's about
What
the
I'm
sex.
saying
It's
is-
never about the sex. It's
not
about
saying
power
it's
and
about
control. It was all about power and
The
control.
guy doesn't have to participate anyway, right? The guy doesn't
You're making assumptions there, and I understand your position, and I'm going to accept that's how you view things.
Hang on.
I don't agree with you.
comes the arsehole Aussie opinion on the matter. Like, yeah, sure, you can fuck what you want and all this kind of stuff, but we also have a little term over here, which is the bite your arm off kind of a route, which is she was all good when you were having beer goggles, but when you fucking wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I don't want to wake that up. I'll bite my arm off to get away from her. Yeah. Now, what you got there is little fucks that want the pretty girl, the princess, and all this kind of stuff, and then they wake up next to a pigger and they go, I didn't want that. Oh, shit. Fucking, I got raped and shit. Oh, fuck off. Are you gay? No. Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with a knife to your throat. Thank you for that wonderful example, but what does that have to do with somebody having a knife to your throat, taking away your power of agency?
Oh, no.
Did the cunt lose his fingers? Did the fucker end up...
No, I understand. You are saying he didn't fight back enough, therefore it's his fault. I got that. I understand your position. You're circling the drain and repeating yourself.
He had a chance to do that, but he could also just go through with it and just put it behind him. It's like, well, okay.
Oh yeah, just like women can put up with being raped, and they can just put it behind them too.
And then 20 years later, when Tracy Spicer fucking says, "Oh, did anybody?"
It's not about the sex. It's never about the sex.
But like I said, no. The only way it would have worked would have been if he actually did have a hard on. I mean, if he found the person attractive, right? Because that's the only way he would have really been able to fuck her.
Or he's 19 years old and has the same. I can give you an erection by putting a rope around your throat and strangling you to death.
No, you couldn't. Yeah,
no, it happens all the time. It is a physiological response. It goes along with oxygen deprivation.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, auto asphyxia is a totally separate fucking issue.
But you're having an erection against your will.
Yeah, but she didn't.
No, I don't care about. Are you saying it doesn't happen? Are you saying it doesn't happen?
I'm just saying.
Are you saying it doesn't happen?
I'm saying there are plenty of ways.
So I can cause you to have an erection against your will.
They are.
So I can cause you to have an erection against your will.
Okay,
yes or no? It doesn't. Yes or no?
Matter. It's irrelevant.
Yeah, no. It's perfectly relevant to my point, which is yes or no.
No, it isn't.
So I can't cause you to have an erection against your will.
You're doing the Channel 4 bullshit. The fucking what?
No, I'm asking questions here. I'm not making statements. I'm asking you questions.
Yeah, I know you're asking me questions, but you're just saying the yes or no bullshit. Right?
Well, it's a yes or no question.
That doesn't work.
Who's going to be the audience? So let's just fucking move on.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, as I've said before, you're going to believe what you believe, and I'll believe what I believe.
Well, okay.
Yeah, if I'm bored, so's the audience. So let's move on.
New York woman 20 who lied about rapes appears to roll her eyes in court as she's jailed for a year. She lied about being raped by two men during a college party, and she got 1 year in jail.
Oh shit! You move on. This is going to bring up the same fucking conversation.
Yeah. No, she just made it up here. Yeah, this is just. Oh no,
the same shit with kids and a twat. Who cares? Let's go. She lied. She's a cunt. Fuck off. Let's go. Yeah. What a rotten bitch.
A woman is an unreliable
witness.
Witness, yes, thank you.
Well, unfortunately, there's a whole gambit of this crap here. Women uses Tinder to prank dozens of men into dating contests. She spent 2 years setting this up, lured in over 100 men to a Hunger Games style, date elimination with her. And
I saw this, and it all boils down to she had absolutely no fucking interest in any of the dudes that go and pass that fucking passed her bullshit test. She just decided to be a bullshit thing, and I think you'll find it too. It was some part of a production company or something.
Oh yeah, and now she's claiming that all the negative press against her, it's the patriarchy and bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't do this. I was hired. I was an actress, and I'll get fucked.
I think we can skip over women hitting the wall, women suing dating service over a lack of men. I mean, it's, I mean, come on. She was promised the love of her life and she didn't get it, so she sued the dating service because she's a 50-year-old woman who's entirely too picky.
Jesus.
Congratulations,
That's
bitch.
so sad.
There's no such thing as a love of your life. And if they are,
That
they're
is
about 1,000
so
miles away
sad.
from you.
That is so sad, though, isn't it? I mean, that's real. I mean, that's refined desperation.
Yeah, how old?
We already went over the Confederate Act.
Mid-20s, and she finally figured out that Prince Charming doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. Well, this is probably the last unique article left here. North Korea calls
an actual fucking documentary.
North Korea calls for an end to Korean War ahead of possible Pompeo visit, and Trump recently said, "Oh, we're going to have to reschedule that because Donald Trump is a master negotiator and knows how to jerk people around." That's pretty much it here. I think we're getting really close to finally ending the Korean War. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, it's a thing of officiality. I mean, like, everyone seems to think the Korean War ended in the 1950s, but no, it has been a ceasefire, which means that they have cessed hostilities up until as we speak. And, well, since I jumped on the internet this morning and found that fucking McCain died, as far as we all know, it could have ended right the fuck now. But like I've been saying, like, for, like, well, on my videos, but on the Eldritch Rants for a fair while now, that, like, Un isn't the arsehole his family getting to the point where everyone in his country is going to figure out that they're full of shit and there is something that needs to be done about it. So best thing they can do is try and finish it. Try and open the borders, which they have done. There have been people who have come across the borders to see their families.
There's the same problem that China has. China and Korea got the same problem because once China actually allows people to see the internet and actually look at what is really out there,
like us, like me,
being lied to.
But China's been doing that for over 10 years now, but Korea hasn't. And
but they've still got the Great Firewall of China and Korea. Like I said, I mean, yes, they are releasing it a little bit more within China, but they're doing it in the kind of like, a nicotine patch or something. But North Korea.
That's the one thing that Un has to get to grips with is that fucking China for a good long while has gone and said to him that, like, no, we're not going to back you up every step of the way. You start being a fuckwit, we're going to start stepping back. It's kind of like when you and about a bunch of your mates go into a pub looking to get drunk and fucking start shit and like, oh yeah, we're going to get into a brawl and yeah, we're going to go fight. And I don't know whether that happens in England, but it happens in Australia, and I've been in a few of those. And there's a point where you go, you know what? If you're going to start the shit, then you're on your own, sunshine. But fucking, okay, if some cunt brings you into some of their crap, then yeah, I'm going to defend you. And that's basically the way that China and North Korea have been for about 10 years now. And it's mainly been Trump that's like, we're going to step up the pressure because China's not involved anymore. And yeah, they're on their own. And fucking all we need to do is drop a shit on the and internet and all this shit. And hey, and it will be a case of if North Korea does invade South Korea, they will see American flags on American troops and on MREs and stuff like that. And they'll go, hey, these are actually the cunts that have been giving us food for all this time. Oh, shit. Hey, Mr. American, can you go and save my family? They are here on this map. And, yeah, like, it just won't work.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be an invasion at this point. What I'm thinking is that Trump's big deal is he's trying to step back a sec and give North and South Korea a chance to, like, actually work it out themselves.
Yep. Exactly.
I think that's what's going on.
Exactly.
And I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know. But that's my theory at this point, and I think we might finally see an end to this. Like, I don't know what the result's going to be. I don't know if they're going to reunify or whatever about that. But if we get that end of war thing, that's a big step.
I mean, it will be a cessation of violence. I think that's what you'll get. And
Un is not the cunt that everyone thinks he is, for the
be
simple
like-
reason that he cannot perpetuate this any further. And like I said before, it's going to be a case of he
It's
has
gonna
to
be a decade.
admit to his people, and if he decides to dismantle the regime that he has, then that might work for him.
Yeah, but remember,
If
he can
not, though-
present it the way he wants to, right? But
Yeah.
he can present it the way he wants to. So
Yeah.
it's a matter of presentation now to the
The
people.
way he presents
know.
it will, yeah, the way he presents it will be, he is the one that unifies Korea. He is the one that's going to do this, and if he can't, he has to
Yeah.
fuck off to another country because everyone's going to ask for his head.
Yeah.
And that's what it really does seem like he's trying to do. Or I really
It is,
do
is
believe that he is genuine in that aspect.
It's all about
Because
the looks.
if he doesn't, then his generals are going to go and fucking overthrow his government, and then that means that the Chinese, who have already said this over 10 years ago, they're going to go and invade North Korea to try and secure his heavy weapons.
And you know why? Because the people in North Korea have actually gone over to other countries and seen what we
Exactly.
have. You know?
Yes.
And so,
Yeah.
and they saying, well, why are we being held back in this way? Because of our fucking retarded leader, right? I mean, this is where the problems are coming in.
Yeah.
So
the whole myth of fucking Korea being totally isolated is not a thing anymore. It hasn't been a thing. It hasn't been a thing for almost a decade, especially since Un got in. It just has not been a thing. And more people in North Korea are learning that it's not funny. And his father was so full of shit, it's not funny. And they're trying to fucking exile to the south. And that has been a big fucking thing. That's the reason why he cannot exist. And he knows this because he has been overseas himself. He knows all the bullshit he's trying to perpetuate. And he knows how much of bullshit it is that he is trying to perpetuate. And it's only going to last a certain amount of time.
But
and
that happens in every country that you find. I mean, look how many different African nation states got people who were educated in fucking Oxford or Cambridge or somewhere like that. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was educated in Western universities.
Yeah,
and it's like it's only a matter of time, and he has to decide where he ends. Is he going to be the cunt that gets strung up, or is he going to be looked at as he
could end up like Mussolini, hung up on the on the street, on the lamppost.
Yeah,
I mean that could happen. I mean that's a viable reality once people kind of realize that they've been. But then again, that they've been so browbeaten into submission, most of them wouldn't do shit,
But when a dozen turns to 100, turns to 1,000, to the entire population.
Yeah, but if you do it in a phased process, if you just slow education or slow.
Honestly, the only thing that will
acclimatization, they'd have to be acclimatized to reality.
Yeah, the only thing that will save Korea from becoming not North Korea is if the generals take over and they put in a hard line fucking communist regime. I don't think it will work.
Yeah, but the thing is, North Korea can't do shit anyway, right? North Korea is pretty much. I mean, look, the guy should just be happy to have a job, right? I mean, that's basically what it is, at this point. Right?
I'm not sure how it'll turn out, but you got to admit North Korea is very undeveloped, so I don't think they're going to remain poor very long if they actually open up their borders. Because once they do like capitalists, and they're going to be like, look at all this wonderful beachfront property.
Well, there was one thing that came up in the last week or so, which Un went to a medical facility, and it was even reported in Australia that Un was concerned and distressed about how poor the medical facilities were.
Of course he was.
And
wasn't about it before, did he? All of a sudden.
Well, it didn't matter before, but now it's sort of like now I've got a fucking a milestone to work with, you cunts are not doing your job. Where used to be that they're absolutely doing their job because no one gave a shit. So there are things that he is doing. I will actually defend the bloke and say that, like, yes, he's trying to work it so when he does get overthrown, he doesn't get hung like fucking Saddam.
Yeah, but they'll just go into exile. That's what they always do.
Well, anything else on this topic? This is probably a good place to wrap things up.
Oh, jeez. Why do you have to do that? It's not Rick and Morty.
Well, it's been real and it's been fun. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Get up. Sorry about that. You didn't need to see that. It's been real and it's been fun. I'm not sure if it's been real fun. Been kind of a sucky week. But we'll see how it works out. All right. Any last words before we wrap things up here?
No, just always a pleasure, mate.
Glad you came by.
Always fun to...
Baby!